this is entirely about helping you get to the next level, yes, but I truly believe we've got to open up your brain. You have to focus on a whole nother level, and you have to be committed to taking something back and implementing it and improving your life. Would it be okay if we help you improve your life today? Would it be okay if your business goes to a whole nother level, your bank account grows a little bit? My dad always says, well, you're going to pay more taxes. Would it be okay if you pay more taxes? Is that all right? Okay. However, our job is to help you, but I cannot help you if you do not help yourself. And I can tell you this, our speakers, we got a sick freaking Kansas City, we got a sick freaking lineup of speakers for you today. However, the more energy you give them, the more energy they will give you back. Would you agree? Dude, some of these speakers, believe it or not, they're acting like they're nervous. I don't know if I believe them, but they're acting like they're nervous. But what I do know is the more energy you provide, the better this will be, because the more comfortable I will get. Anybody notice that energy is important to me? It's very important. And guess what? It's important in your business. Like, dude, there's so many times I'll go to Orlando and speak, and I'll get in at 3 a.m. and I'll have to speak at 7 a.m. at a breakfast. Do you think I want to give energy and be my best on a Saturday morning or a Sunday at 7 a.m. after sleeping for like 2 or 3 hours? Not really, but dude, I get the opportunity once. You get everything you're doing today one time. Dude, you're not a cat. You don't get 9 lives. Like, you get this thing once. How are you going? Also, you get this once. I get this once with a bunch of you. Like, who's never been to one of our events before? Dude, give it up for the freaking entire room. That's amazing, right? Now, the cool thing is you're going to hear some stuff. You're going to learn some stuff. You're going to get inspired, and I'm going to give you some actual tangible nuggets and takeaways, do some training, and maybe get on the flip chart. I normally say, if you see my YouTube videos, I normally say whiteboard. Today it's a flip chart. However, you have to be willing to catch the information, receive it, and go apply it. I remember being a brand new agent. Who's new in the room? Who's been doing this for, let's just say less than a year? Look at that, dude. Give it up for them, man. Let's go. Okay, now less than 6 months. Wow, less than 90 days. Less than 30 days. Not even licensed yet. Let's go. Give it up for all of our newbies, man. Oh my gosh, dude. Awesome. Who's been in the business like 1 to 3 years? 3 to 10? 10 plus? 50 plus, 100 years or more. No, just kidding, okay? I want to make sure I don't forget anybody, right? No. I've been in the business literally my entire life. Like, I'm 34, I'm getting old. I could literally say, because my dad started in the business when he started 3 months before I was born. I can just say that I've been doing this my entire life, right? Only been in the business really since end of 2010. However, we've had a ton of fun in this industry. Like, this industry is special. If you haven't realized yet, this is the #1 industry on the planet. It just is, right? Like, we got real estate agents that they're ready to convert to insurance in the room because of how freaking amazing insurance is. Guess what? There's more millionaires in this than any other industry on planet Earth, which means you're in the right room. You have the right vehicle, but will you apply it in the right way? And do you think if it's the most financially rewarding career, that it's okay if it's the toughest? Yeah. Dude, I think that's okay. Like, I don't think there's anything in life where it's like, oh, you can just go do this and clock in and get paid $1 million. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe CEO of Coca-Cola or something. I don't know how that works, but like, I do know that if it's going to create the most millionaires, it might as well be difficult along the way. And it is. Statistically, it's the best, but statistically, it's the hardest. Who doesn't know where 8% comes from? Like, the actual stat, like what it means. 92% of insurance agents fail in their first 3 years. Our goal is to diminish that. Is to improve that, to help get rid of that, erase that, etc. Because far too many people are getting in this industry. They don't know what the freak they're doing. No one's teaching them how to get in front of people. Nobody's training them. People are throwing a phone in their face and saying, go make money. And they're like, I don't even know what to say, dude. Like, anybody ever had that experience when you guys started in the industry? Look at that. Dude, that's a problem. That's a massive problem. It pains me when that happens. Pains me when that happens. Katarina, who's our ultimate ticket holder, we hung out for 30 minutes earlier, literally a private one-on-one, talking about she's brand new to the business. She's someone that's like, dude, as soon as I get my license, I'm getting freaking attacked by every company in the world. And she's like, I don't know who to work with. I'm like, I wonder how many times that happens in the industry. Dude, a lot. And the cool thing is, though, I will share this no matter where you work. You won't hear this normally. you can succeed and make money no matter where you're at and help a lot of people. We did it for years, no matter where we worked or what we did, whether we had one carrier or 72, or 100 or 712. It didn't matter. I believe you can do well wherever you're at. But the question that I want to ask is, what do you need to do to get to the next level? If you're new and you're like, bro, I could just use some more sales and some money. Who's in the room where you're like, bro, I would just like to make an extra 500, 1,000, 1,500, $2,000 a week. Let me see those hands. Good, you're in the right freaking room, by the way. Give yourselves a hand for being here. You're in the right room. You will have no excuses when you leave if that doesn't start to happen. Unless you want to make them up. But that's up to you. That's your choice. Also, can I coach you like I would normally coach anybody else today? Is that okay? Or should I kind of dial it back and take it easy on you guys? Or it's Kansas City, who's been winning some Super Bowls lately. Is it okay if I dial it up? Okay? I think it's okay, because I think that you are here because you want to get better. How many insurance agents are there in Kansas City that didn't show up today? There's a lot. Now, we had more show up than we expected because we were scrambling to find chairs. However, we figured it out. The team figured it out because they always do. Give our team a hand for being here. Appreciate all they do. Who knows my story? Who does not actually literally know my story at all? That'd be the rest of you, by the way, in case you're curious, okay? Okay, so really quick. My dad got started in the business 3 months before I was born. I've been in the business literally my entire life. Fast forward to 19 years old. I'm going to school at Baptist Bible College. I'm 20 years old. I'm taking 21 credit hours a semester. Practices, games, tournaments, all that. And I go to a recruiting meeting because I was an intern at an insurance office. And I go to a recruiting meeting and the manager's like, okay, 10 of you stand up. So we stood up. And he says, take a look around. I'm like, what are we accomplishing here? But he said, now 9 of you sit down. He left one person standing. He did not leave me standing. And he looked at that individual that was left standing and said, maybe one of you will make it. I'm like, first of all, that is not a very positive way to start my insurance career. Fair? Fair enough? However, it ignited something within me because of a competitive drive. Maybe it comes from athletics. Definitely comes from my parents. Freaking super competitive. You can play anything with them. With them that just want to destroy you in games or whatever, man. They are so freaking competitive in a good way. Who else is a little bit competitive in the room? You I don't love to lose. Okay, good. I had that. And I knew, okay, if there would be one that make it, I am going to be one of the individuals that make it. I will do whatever it takes to win. The truth is, though, there's a lot of people that get in the industry and they say, Cody, I will do whatever it takes to win, but then they don't do whatever it takes to win. Why not? Cody, I'll do whatever. It's funny because people will hire for coaching, which I do very little of anymore. It's $5,000 an hour. I don't recommend it. I don't really enjoy it, but we sell it every now and then when someone's got a bunch of money and they're like, I want your time. I'm like, okay. However, when we do, or when we used to, and I would work with a lot of new agents for $100 an hour back in the day, this was 2017, 2018, they would say, Cody, what do I need to do to be successful? Who's had that question? You're wondering constantly, what do I need to do to be successful? And I would say, okay, write this down. Do this, this, this. And they're like, okay, got it. I can do that. Yep, I'll do that. I don't know about that one. I'm like, dude, you just said you would do whatever it takes to succeed. What's the disconnect? A lot of the disconnect is, too, a bunch of you were recruited by somebody who's a smooth talker and they dressed sharp and they were sliding the keys across the Ferrari keys across the table boiler room and all these things were happening and you're like, oh my gosh, I got to go make money in sales. This is amazing. And then you get in and you're like, wait, it's been 12 minutes. I'm not a millionaire yet. What's going on here? Why? Because they're selling you the dream instead of being honest with you about how freaking hard it is. I believe you can succeed and do well, by the way. But I still believe, Michael Bond and I both believe, you still got to show up and work. That's still part of the equation. I don't know. I've never figured out a way to sprinkle pixie dust on people and then just make a ton of money. I have not figured it out yet. It hasn't worked. Even though most recruiters will say that that's part of the game. But it's not, dude. It's not. It's weird. But why you are here is because you want to win. When I first started in the business, I went out cold calling and cold door knocking. We help about 600 agents a month now with leads through our CABOOM Leads platform. It is exploding, growing every single month, which I'll get into later. Or you can see it in some of your booklets or whatever the team called the thing on your table. However, and you'll notice too, like I think it's okay too when I'm speaking or when I'm talking to people, like if I don't know the answer, I don't know what it's called, or I'm originally from Arkansas, like my grammar's not gonna be perfect. I'm gonna say, freaking, I'm gonna say Tuesday instead of Tuesday. Like I think that's okay. You need to be you, right? You need to be you. I think people respect when you are you. That's what I think. So when I'm getting started in the industry, I'm going out cold calling and cold door knocking to make money without leads. One product, one carrier, which is totally fine. And I made $117,391.13 cold calling the phone book and cold door knocking houses. While I was in college, while I was playing basketball. So people say, dude, can you do this part-time? That's the only thing I knew starting out. Like we talked about this earlier. Like I only knew part-time. Can you make $100,000 part-time? Sure. Will most of you work as hard as I did to make $100,000 part-time? No. But you can. And then I sold for years. Loved sales. I could literally cold door knock on a stranger and get into most homes. Like, man, dude, I was obsessed with getting good at sales. Like, I knew there was a bunch of things I didn't know. That's never been a problem for me. Like, I've always been super coachable. I've got mentors right now that are making 9 figures. And they're like, dude, you need to be doing this. I'm like, I'm not doing 9 figures. I'll do that. The ego is not in the way for me to go do what somebody else says to do. Now, if they're making $12, I don't know if I'm going to try it. Is that okay? Like, who are you getting your information from? It matters. Have they done what you are doing? Have they accomplished at what you're doing? Like, my dad's had a ton of success. He's not normally at our road shows. He's here in the room today, which is awesome, right? Now my sister's, Casey's, jumping in the industry for the last couple of years and freaking crushing it. She's got an office and like 9 people here, and she's doing multiple 6 figures a year now. And it's like, people are like, what's in the water in the Askins family? I'm like, dude, we were taught to work. We were taught to take risk, invest in your business, and freaking work. Those aren't secret nuggets that, like, you know what I mean, you have to be born in our family to have, by the way. It's like anybody can have those. And I sold for years. And I remember one specific time when I was early making money, I had a manager named Sean. And he said, hey, I've got 2 agents up in northern Missouri. I think they were in, it's like the Moberly area. I don't know, a couple hours east of you, I think. And they were a good ways from Springfield. And they said, hey, there's 2 agents. They're struggling. They're not making any money. It's been a couple months. Anybody can relate to this story? Like, it's been a couple months. I'm not making money. I'm struggling. I need to make money to make sales. Yeah? He said, can you go up to northern Missouri and help them make some money? Dude, all I know is how to like cold door knock. I don't think I'm that great, but it's funny about insurance. You make $12, you make half a sale, and you're in charge and you're training everyone, right? It's just how it is in most offices, okay? Most people training you don't even know what the freak they're doing, but it's like that's our industry, okay? However, and I told you I was going to keep it real and not dial it back. Is that okay? However, when I said, dude, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll go door knock and try to help them. I'll try. So I go to northern Missouri. I spend an entire day with them. We make 5 sales from cold door knocking in a single day. That was pretty cool. Some of you guys are like, will you go cold door knocking with me? No, but that's okay. However, somebody will, surely. In this room, somebody will do it. Okay. Ty Brady, he'll do it. Okay. And we gave hugs and high fives. Like they were so freaking excited. I left the apps, the commission. I did not take an app split, and I left it all with them. And then I leave and start driving home. And you could just see like on their face, like, dude, oh my gosh, man. Like they were seeing a bigger vision for their life. Like I truly believe, no matter what you believe, I believe God has put me on this planet to help other people see a bigger vision and future for their life. That's what I believe. And I love getting a chance to do that, by the way. But I remember driving home and the manager said, Cody, how was today? And I'm like, he said, no, Cody, I asked you, how was today? I'm like, I heard you. Give me a second to collect my thoughts. And I started getting emotional. And tears started running down my face. And I said, Sean, today was special. I said, today I get to help other people make money. And I enjoyed that far more than just me making money. There was something unique about it. And I remember saying, if I ever get a chance to do that again, I want to do more of that. Now we can do that every day. Now we can do that every minute of every day. Like what we've been able to do in our industry is super special, but it started because I had to put in the work and help people while still helping myself. And then I sold for years. And then the end of 2015, almost 9 years ago, as of the end of this year, I started putting out YouTube videos to help insurance agents. And they were terrible, by the way. Like, it was my first video. Your first video wouldn't be good either, right? I'm sitting there in like a squeaky chair in a 9x9 office wearing a gray sweater, and I'm like sweating and I'm nervous, and I got my phone on the shelf and I've got note cards on the wall, and I'm like and I take 42 takes, and I'm by myself, but I'm nervous, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to shoot videos. I want to do this. Why am I doing this? I'm trying to talk myself out of it. Anybody can relate to all these things, right? However, I took a step. I did it. I moved. Most people, when they're in that mode, they're like, well, let me think about whether I should do it. No. Thinking will cause you to not do it. That's a huge nugget that you need to write down. If you got to think about something, you will talk yourself out of it every single freaking time. Like Jalen just asked me to speak to his team next week, I think. Monday. Thank you, Lindsay. Monday. Lindsay controls my work life. Lauren controls my home life. And then I get to choose what I do when I'm like in the truck by myself. I don't know. Okay. However, Monday. And he said, I want you to teach our agents how to go from 6 to 7 figures. I'm like, I can do that. Like, because of social media and the brand we've built, we've taken 7 companies to 7 figures in 7 years. I can teach that, for sure. I believe I can jump into any company on the planet, and within 90 days, they're on pace to make 7 figures. I do. Now, will they work hard enough to do it? No. Will they spend the amount of money I want them to spend? No. Will they be scared to death? Yes. Will they have to get outside their comfort zone every freaking minute of every day? However, I started putting out videos because I wanted to help others. But I was scared to start. But I started. Like, I was at a Go High Level conference. Also, you'll notice I've got notes. I haven't even looked at any of them. My screen is totally black. I have no idea what's even on them. I just know that I've got stuff that I want to say, and I'm just going to say that instead, right? I think that's okay. Is that okay with you? Even though we're definitely going to get to some training, even though I've definitely gave you some nuggets, whether you realized them or not so far. However, I was at the Go High Level conference. Go High Level has 5 million users. They're the top 5 CRM on the planet. They have a conference for about 1,000 to 1,200 people or whatever it was a couple weeks ago. I was one of the headline speakers. They had some of the biggest speakers in the world supposed to speak at this thing. I was last on day 1, the closing keynote. I was freaking terrified to speak. The most nervous I've been in years to talk. Because I speak to insurance agents, you know who I am. They don't have a freaking clue who Cody Askins is, nor did they care. And they're playing a video, and I'm running up, and they're like, dude, who is this crazy dude jumping around? Right? As some of you did earlier, by the way. However, I'm super nervous. I don't eat at all the whole day because I'm terrified I'm going to puke. I work out like 3 times just to get my energy, get nervous energy out. I call my wife and she prays for me like 812 times. Like, I am terrified to do this talk. And people who see me speak will be like, there's no way you were nervous to give this talk. But I was. And I think it's okay to share that that's happening. I don't think the old Cody would have been like, oh, dude, I wasn't nervous. It was freaking amazing. I crushed it. No, dude, I was terrified. That's the truth. However, here's the moral of the story. I go out and speak. Guess who I see on the 3rd row sitting like right here? A guy by the name of Ping Jun. He's got about 1 million followers on Instagram, millions of followers around the world. My ADHD self stops in the middle of talking to like 1,200 people. And I'm like, Ping! I said, you don't know who I am, but I watched a video from you back in April of 2019. I remember where I was sitting when I watched the video. I remember the day of the week that I watched the video because it was a Saturday morning. I remember the house I was in when I watched the video. We've had like 5 already. And you talked about the importance of doing smaller events to build relationships and help and meet new people. You inspired me to start doing events and to start getting outside of my comfort zone, and I was terrified to do it. But dude, because you got outside your comfort zone, you helped me so much. I'm so grateful for you. I love you. I appreciate you. Ping, thank you. Crowd freaking went nuts, by the way, right? It was so cool. Very cool moment. However, Ping comes up to me after the conference, and he's built, like, his company does like multiple 8 figures. Like, he's a big dude. He should have been speaking. I was like, here, you want the mic? You know what I mean? Like, come on. He came up and gave me a hug right after. He said, you don't realize this? He said, but my dad died. He said, I stopped doing videos for the last couple years. He said, but you inspired me to start doing videos again. He said, because if I can help you, he said, imagine the millions of people around the world that I am helping that I've never even met, and the other millions of people that I'm not helping by not getting outside of my comfort zone and doing what I need to do. He said, so thank you. That is why you get outside your comfort zone and do the things you don't want to do, because you don't know where it's going to lead. You don't know who you're going to meet. You don't know the video that you shoot on social media and how it's going to help people. A bunch of you are terrified to do video, by the way. Fair? Yes? Is that okay to share? However, a bunch of you will be doing video after today. I'm accepting responsibility for that. You're like, dude, you ain't forcing me to do nothing, Cody. I'm telling you, putting out content on social media is one of the absolute best things you can do to scale a company in 2024 and beyond, for sure. And if I hadn't started doing videos, we wouldn't have scaled 7 companies to 7 figures in 7 years. Definitely would not have happened. The Ping story is an example. I like seeing other people win. I like helping people. Guess what? You've transacted with us to come here. $27, $67, $97, whatever it was. Promise you, if you haven't got your value already, you will. I would still like to do more with you after today. Whether that's you just coming to our conference or watching a YouTube video or following us on Instagram, like, if you're like, dude, I have no money, I still think we can help you. I do. And the truth is, when I do events, I can tell who's actually, I hate saying this, but I can literally tell who actually needs help by how much they pay attention, how focused they are, how they take notes, how much they're engaging and nodding and laughing and clapping. By posture, I can literally see it all. Some of you are kind of like, I don't know what to think of Cody yet. Fair? It's true. I do that to other people. I do. I go listen, I love listening to pastors. And I'm like, prove to me that you're a good pastor. Because my grandpa was a good pastor for 40-something years, right? I get it. However, if you allow us, we can help you. Is it okay if we help you today? Yes. Is that okay? Yes? Yes? Also, I have a few rules and you're breaking them already. I should have said them earlier. Can I tell you the ground rules? Kansas City, is that okay? Yes? 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 Okay, so also this is not a funeral or a church. It's okay to make some noise around. It's okay completely. Okay? First of all. Also, if you can't get excited a bunch of crazy, freaking weird insurance agents, trust me, you ain't going to be excited door knocking and then slamming the door in your face. Right? Fair? Okay, so that's okay. Number 1. Yes? Can I get a yes? Is that okay? Yes? Yes. Right hand up, left hand. Okay. All right, perfect. Second, mentioned it a second ago. From now on, we are a family. We are a team. We are doing this event together. And you are a part of the event today. Yes? Yes? Which means if one person claps, we all clap. We don't do the weird clap and the awkward thing. And like Michael will clap a bunch because he's a freaking awesome dude, but if the rest of you don't, it's just weird. So we don't do that. So if somebody starts it, like, we all do it. I remember a agent. Also, I don't even know where my timer is or how long I'm going to go. Oh, there it is. Boom. I'm over time. Perfect. Okay. I got you. We've only been doing events together for like 6 years now? 5.5 years? I don't know. Whatever it is. I was an agent that came to a boot camp we were doing in Springfield one time. And he said, and I had everybody stand up. Why are you here? He stood up and said, I am here because I want to be more than just potential. There's some of you today that you're like, bro, I finally want to be more than just potential. People say I could do good. My recruiter says it's going to be amazing. But I want to actually actualize it. I want it to actually happen. We believe it can happen for you. We believe our speakers are going to pour into you and help you on a whole nother level that maybe you haven't been helped yet. But what I do know is you will have to participate and help yourself. Would you agree? Yes. Would you agree? Is that okay? Yes. Okay. I want to share a couple things really quick. Okay. Here's 3 things that I look for when I'm helping people. Here's 3 things that I look for. Number 1, and when I'm hiring sales reps in Springfield, Missouri to be on my sales team, like we have 9 sales reps. They're all going to make between $80,000 and $200,000, $250,000, right? All of them, by the way, all of them. If you want to move to Kansas City, be in my office, be on my sales team, go for it. Okay, we're not selling insurance. We're selling Cody Askins at 8%, right? Cheyenne's on pace to make like $80,000. Lindsay sells, and she's on pace to make. She's already made $100,000 this year, right? Is this the first time you ever made $100,000 in a year? Second? Let's go. How about that? That's freaking cool, by the way. Okay, that's great. This is what I look for, though, when I look for these types of people, right? When I've got a Brett who's been with us for like literally almost 6 years and does an amazing job. He's on our executive team, travels the world with us. Or Keith, who films reality shows for us, helps us put out a ton of freaking content, also with us for like 5.5, 6 years, right? Like I believe in keeping good people when you find them. But here's what we look for to find good people. Who would like to know what that is? Okay? Number 1, I look for people that are reliable. Reliable. If they are late on their first day, they do not continue working with me. Period. Would you guys agree? Is that okay to say? Fair? Right? We had one dude showed up late for his interview, was smoking weed in his car, and I'm like, thank you anyway. That's just me. But I get to choose who I work with. Fair enough? Would you agree that you get to choose who you work with too? Yes? Also, I've never seen, this is a side note, freaking getting crazy. Some of you guys are going to hate this, but I love you anyway. I've never seen weed help anybody make more money. I just haven't. I haven't yet. Does it make you feel better? I've heard it does. Jelly Roll, I love listening to Jelly Roll. He's very pro. He's like, dude, let's do it. I'm like, that's great, but I've never seen help anybody make more money. Fair? I think even those that are in the room doing weed would be like, I kind of agree with him still, right? Number 1, reliable. Here's what I mean. When I'm 16 years old and I'm supposed to go to work at Apple Market grocery store in Rogersville, Missouri, and I do not feel well and I'm throwing up, and I go to my dad, I'm like, I've never called into work before, but I'm thinking about calling in. I go to my dad, I'm like, I'm not feeling good, but I think I'm going to call it. I don't want to go. He said, Cody, you do whatever you want to do, but you know what I would do. I'm like, gosh, freaking dang it, bro. Like, so I go to work and I throw up in the bathroom at work. I don't tell a soul. Now that's not super cool and popular post-COVID. I get it. But back then, that's the example that I had of being reliable and showing up, because step 1 of success is showing up. You've showed up. That's awesome. That's just the first step. But most people struggle with the first one. That's where most people go wrong. Like it is so easy to get ahead of the competition nowadays. It's so easy to get ahead of competition. To stand out nowadays is a freaking piece of cake. It's so simple for you to outlast other insurance agents. You just got to put pants on sometimes. Like it's insane. Would you agree? How stupid is that? That's embarrassing, but it's true. Now, can you make tons of money in your underwear and boxers and your, whatever, selling over the phone? Sure, but like, you still got to show up and work. Number 1's reliable. Number 2, coachable. Coachable. If they ever come in and start changing my script or telling me how to run my operation, Cheyenne, how does that go over? Not very good. They're like, well, we did this when we sold cars. I'm like, how'd that go? I did pretty good. Why aren't you still there? Because I want to work less. Cool. You can do that here. But not telling me what to do. Fair? Coachable. Someone who is willing to learn. Ego, arrogance, pride. I think in the Bible they say come as for a fall, right? Like it's something to where I have had to I'm going to give you some real vulnerable stories today about how I've been humbled a bunch over the last 18 months. A bunch. But I believe that there is still more to learn to get to additional levels in this game. Here's an example, dude. I'm this close to booking a private jet on Saturday to go fly to Memphis and back because I don't want to drive 9 hours. Now, I'm going through a bunch of stuff financially the last 2 years that I'll get into later that I don't really want to spend, 9 to 12 grand just to go to, $9,634 to go to Memphis and back, right? I don't. But I'm seeking advice and counsel on when would that make sense. Guess what? Because I'm coachable and I don't know a lot yet. I just don't. I know how to outwork people. I know how to show up even when I'm throwing up. Like that's what I know. But most of you probably know more about the insurance underwriting guides because you've been studying those instead of working than I do. For sure. I don't know all the ins and outs of every product. Guess what? I don't need to know. Most agents don't either, by the way. Coachable. Would you agree? How coachable are you? We're going to find out today. I'm going to ask you to do some stuff that is uncomfortable. I don't care if you're on the first row or the 13th row or the new row at the back wall. I'm going to help you get outside of your comfort zone and ask you to do things that you are not comfortable doing today. I am. People say they want to win, and then I say do this, and they're like, I wanted to win. I don't know anymore. Fair? Fair? Do I still have your attention, Kansas City? How has this been so far? Has this been okay? Okay, good. Cool. Also, most of the reason we started doing events is I was going to events in the insurance industry, and I'm like, bro, I've been to more exciting funerals than a bunch of insurance events. I'm like, you've got somebody playing the piano in the corner, and I'm just like, you know what I mean? They're up there talking like, if you would just sell more IUL, you would make more money. Like, no crap. That's typically the training and events that you go to. Would you agree? Welcome to a new wave and a modern way of doing this without being boring. Is that okay? Number 3, I got to keep it moving or I'm never going to get through all this stuff. Okay, and then our speakers will be like, bro, I flew all the way out here and you stole the whole time. And some of you guys would like that, but we're going to take care of them too. Okay, number 3, reliable, coachable, and focused. A bunch of you are reliable. Not all of you yet, by the way. Tell me some of you relate to this. Let's be honest. Coachable. You said I could coach you today. You agreed. Did you sign the waiver at the door? Just kidding. Okay. However, coachable. Good. People want to learn. They're here. Good. That's great. Want education. They want to improve their life. Phenomenal. Most people are unfocused. We did a strengths test called what the freak was that called? Clifton Strengths. Yeah, it's in the name. That makes sense. And it was analyzing your top 32 strengths. His number 1 strength was focus. Out of all 34. Mine was like 7, right? I struggle with this one. He does not. He can literally do the same thing for 13 hours, and I'm like, I can't do it for 13 minutes. You know what I mean? Focus, right? However, just because insurance isn't going well doesn't mean you need to go Uber or get your real estate licensed or go start investing in the stock market or go start doing e-com shop stores or Amazon, whatever, right? Most people are unfocused and they never succeed at one thing and they try to master 12. Stop trying to sell all the insurance products until you get good at selling one. You got to get in front of people before this thing can work. Would you agree? Who? I was honest. I struggle with this. Who else is like, I kind of struggle with this a little bit? Okay, good. Not good, but good, right? Appreciate the honesty. And there's some of you that are like, I can't be like a pastor and be like, I see that hand. I can't because it's down here, right? However, focus is an important element of success.